Hey friends, how are you guys? My name is Eliazar Gutierrez. We're actually live on our first time on Instagram, so thank you guys for joining us. I'm the Associate Manager of High School Leadership Programs here at CHCI, and we're actually here to talk and share information about one of CHCI's signature leadership programs, and that's our high school program, R2L NextGen. Throughout the conversation, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to type them. We'll be answering questions at the end of this live. But most of you guys are probably asking, what is R2L NextGen? So R2L NextGen is a 1-week civic engagement and leadership camp for current high school students that are sophomores and juniors. This summer, CHCI will be bringing 100 high school students to our nation's capital to not only explore the city, but also gain essential leadership skills. We'll teach students how to become more civically engaged, and more than anything, students are going to have the opportunity to interact with different members of Congress, interact with CHCI board members, staff, alumni, but also to get to know some of the top policy leaders in our nation's capital that are working on issues that are affecting our communities and that are advocating on behalf of our community. So our upcoming application deadline is actually on February 17th. And I'm going to share a little bit more about what our application consists of. So the first thing you're going to go is you're going to go to www.chci.org/apply, and you're going to start creating an account where you're going to input your basic information. So depending on your region, because this opportunity is only open for 16 different regions, you'll select the application which pertains to your region, and you will begin that application. Our actual application is composed of a resume, which you have to complete, a transcript, 3 short essays where you have to answer, depending on different topics, and a letter of recommendation from a recommender. So you have about a week and a half to apply and to complete the application. If you have any questions regarding the process, we suggest that you guys share those questions, and we'll answer those questions momentarily. So NextGen, CHCI is actually really excited to offer this opportunity, and it's an all-expenses paid trip for students. And today we actually have one of those students that has been through that program here today. So she's actually in DC for something real special, so I'm going to invite her over to join us now. So this is Marsha, and Marsha, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and just share with us a little bit about who you are and why you're here with us today.
Hi, my name is Marsha. I am a freshman Administration of Justice major and English minor at Howard University.
So you're actually at Howard now, which is awesome. So you're a freshman at Howard, but how did CHCI sort of come into your life? What year were you part of NextGen?
I was part of NextGen in 2017, the summer.
Awesome. So you were a junior, a rising senior when you came through NextGen, and now you're a freshman at Howard. So share with folks, how did you find out about the R2L NextGen program and sort of the application process?
I actually attended a law magnet high school, Fox Tech Health and Law Magnet High School, and the law magnet coordinator, Ms. Jennifer Casanova, told me about the NextGen program, which is how I heard about it and decided to apply.
Awesome. So can you share with us a little bit about the application process, sort of how was the application experience for you?
The application experience was fairly easy. I was told about the application and the program a little under 2 weeks before the application was actually due, and I was able to complete it. It was just a basic information having to do with my region because I was from Texas. There was 3 short essays, about 300 to 500 words, and a transcript and a letter of recommendation, which I got from my law magnet coordinator.
Awesome. And regarding sort of once you completed the application, you applied and you submitted, sort of how exciting was it to find out that you were going to be part of this great summer leadership camp, and that how was that for you? How was that whole process?
Actually, when you called me, I was doing pre-calculus in the hallway, and I normally don't answer phone calls from numbers I don't know, but I saw it was a DC area code. So I went ahead and answered the phone, and right there in that moment, we were talking about, tangents and cohos. I had stopped everybody and did this little dance. I was dancing while you were on the phone with me because I had actually gotten into the NextGen program, and I was really excited because I've been looking forward to working with public policy since I was a young little girl.
Awesome. So was it your first time coming to DC?
Yes, it was my first time coming to DC.
Awesome. So share with folks that are online. So you came to Washington for the first time. How's the program experience? Did you met other students? Can you share with us a little bit about that?
The program experience was pretty amazing. Actually, one of the participants from the program actually went to elementary school with her. Her name's Silali, and we had split up during middle school and high school, and I got to reconnect with her again. And then I was also paired up with another person from San Antonio. So it was interesting to see how, circles run a line with each other again. And then also meeting people from Atlanta, Puerto Rico, and California and other various regions, and seeing how Hispanic culture is not only Mexican culture, but Cuban culture, Dominican culture, Ecuadorian, and many more. And then also seeing people from the same culture, like Mexicans from California, have a different experience from Mexicans in San Antonio. And so it's very enlightening to see how diverse the Hispanic culture is.
Awesome. So we bring students from 16 different regions to this summer program. So definitely, you all had the opportunity to make connections, to learn about each other's cultures, to learn about each other's families. But share with us a little bit. So what was the highlight of your trip? Like, what was your favorite? When you look back and you reflect, what was like one or two of the favorite things that you did during your time in DC?
One of my favorite things that I did during time in DC was mock Congress. We got to learn the bills and committees, and we got to debate and see how bills actually performed mockly, how they would in actual Congress. And then on top of that, I actually got to meet real Congress members that take place and do the debating themselves.
Awesome. So we do tons of activities, and one of them is our signature mock Congress, where students become, you become the lobbyists, you become the policymakers, and we sort of have fun with that. And not only that, but we prepare you to your visits to Capitol Hill. So they actually go to Capitol Hill and meet our legislators and their members of Congress. So tell us a little bit more about, now that you look back at it, and after your week in DC through R2L NextGen, you went back home, and what did you do to sort of continue that momentum of everything that you learned in DC?
I actually went and joined Youth in Government, and I did mock Congress for the state of Texas. And so within mock Congress, I did mock Senate, and so I was in the Criminal Justice Committee, and I was actually a state qualifier. And so I got to see and participate in different bills. And with Youth in Government, it was not only like mock Congress, we had mock lobbyists, mock media, mock governors, mock trial, mock judges. So it was the whole government scenario, which is basically everything I had learned and covered through with CHCI.
Awesome. Well, with that experience, and you were so involved back home when you went, and now you're in DC, so now you're a freshman. So can you share with us a little bit? What are you doing at Howard? What are you majoring in? And sort of some of the activities that you're involved at.
I'm an Administration of Justice major and English minor. Right now at Howard University, I'm in the double NACP, and I am in Precious Pearls Outreach Youth Organization. I'm volunteering at the Youth Services, which deals with juveniles who are looking at court dates and court trials, and I'm also a mentor at Richard Wright, and I'm also doing the water polo club.
So you're really active.
Yeah.
Just like you were when you applied for our program.
Yeah.
So, lastly, can you share a little bit with us what through NextGen were you sort of motivated to come back to DC? Like how did R2L NextGen motivate you to come back to DC? Because now you're doing school on the East Coast. Like, did you ever imagine that you would do school on the East Coast?
I've actually always wanted to go to school on the East Coast. I was aiming for more of a Boston or a New York. DC was never really in my realm of assignment, so I actually came here. I never looked into colleges until seeing DC. The weather's pretty nice, the community, and being able to interact with all of the policymakers and our government leaders. It's a great opportunity, especially when you're going to school here. So coming to CDC was a big factor in the colleges where I applied.
Great. And then, do you have any application tips for folks? So students in your place that are like currently applying and they're looking at the application, what application tips would you have for them just to make the process a little easier?
I'd say it's not too late to apply, especially because I had applied a little under 2 weeks, which is basically right now. You can still apply. And one of the main tips I would say is to make sure when you're writing your essay to talk about things you're passionate about. I think one of the essays was talk about an issue, and so to make sure it's an issue you're passionate about, but also to get specific with that issue. When I applied, I wrote about the prison system and education system, but it's more, there's lots of like entities within that, so I specifically talked about how the prison system and the education system were entwined and how kids were getting incarcerated within schools. So I think if you're going to do an issue, to make the issue specific.
Awesome. And then actually, guys, when we take all those essays that you guys write and we actually discuss some of those issues when students are here in DC, and then we always encourage our students to ask those questions when they're on Capitol Hill, so sort of, full spear. Well, Marcia, she's going to stick with me because we have a few questions, and I know folks are eager to ask her questions. But now I'm going to answer a few. So we've been getting in some questions regarding certain parts of the application. So a couple of folks have asked whether you need a Social Security to apply. So the answer to that is no. If students are documented or currently hold DACA, when you're completing the application, just make sure to input all zeros. And our application system will allow you to continue with your application. Another question that we've been receiving is there a minimum GPA? So there is actually no minimum GPA for our high school for our high school program. Students with all sorts of GPA can apply and are eligible to apply. So if you, another question that came in is, if you don't live in the regions, if you don't live in one of the regions, can you apply? And unfortunately, that's a no. Our high school program is very specific to certain regions due to our funding process here. So we're actually working towards that being one of our future goals, where the R2L NextGen application is a national application. So one of our other questions is that, do we still keep in touch with program participants post their experience? And we actually do. Marcia's here, so she's a testament that we still do keep in touch, but I personally still keep in touch with the programs. We will send constant scholarships, other leadership programs. We'll write students are junior alumni, and we write them letters of recommendation. It's part of our wraparound services that we provide here at CHCI for students. We want the R2L NextGen program to be the sort of stepping stone for all of our students to continue on their leadership journey. Another questions that we've had is regarding transcripts. Do transcripts have to be official transcripts? And the answer to that is no. If you have an unofficial transcript, that's perfectly fine. If you could just scan that unofficial transcript and upload it to your application portal, and we do accept unofficial transcripts. And then I think another question that we've been receiving throughout is for recommenders. If recommenders are having trouble uploading their letters of recommendation, recommenders can directly send those letters of recommendation to me at my email, which we'll add to the live. And those letters will then upload those recommendation letters to the student's profile. And then, so just to sort of top everything off and finish it off, so what's next for you? You're now in DC. Where would you see yourself within the next year or so? We're definitely going to invite you to come by and meet like some of the students that come through the summer. But what's next for you in sort of this leadership journey of you, because you're just getting started?
Yeah, I'm just getting started. Probably right now I'm actually kind of like at like a crossroads in a sense. I've been challenged in college, logically and ideologically about certain views I had, and right now I still want to go to law school after college,